get picked up to protect yourself. This is a flinch reflex. This is a more refined version. And then your knee is going to come up. This is a modified fetal position. You don't want to get hurt, right? You're going to cover it, hit them with your knee, put your forearm on their neck and just shift forward a little bit so they get moved backwards. I want you to be comfortable with that. In real application, you wouldn't push them. You would be a strike. It's a very strong strike. But you got to start somewhere, right? You can go in the middle, you can go to the outside, whatever happens to work for you when you do it. So you can clip across his face on the way up, you can clip across his jaw on the way up, you can hit back out with your elbow and then and then your forearm. This is irritating, this is way worse. Wow. And take his head and crank it over there and put it on the ground. But we're going to start with one. And I'm going to touch his hand here so it doesn't go away. I'm going to turn it upside down because you know we like this S thing. Everybody know about this S? His body is very vulnerable in this position. Whereas if he locks his arm out, he's not as vulnerable, he can fight it. A little bit of bend here though, doesn't take much. So I turn his arm upside down and I move in. I'm going to take these two knuckles and put them right here on this nerve and go slowly forward, slowly. You can only move so quick. Pull them out a little bit if you want, kick them if you want, put your weight on it, and just see how it feels. But I like this lineage. This faces towards the middle of him, and my knuckles go right on this bone. Can you see here? Bah. And then your body weight when you settle. If I roll over too far, I got nothing. I got very little that I can do. This is a grab over here that traps him and messes him up. And you have both arms this way. It's a very locked grapple. And it's interesting because you can go a little slower and start to feel, okay, I got to pull a little bit, I lift a little bit, now I got to trap his hand and drop down on it, and he can't go anywhere. It could be his right hand, it could be his left hand, I'd still make it work. He could be hanging on and swinging, I'd still make it work. He could be grabbing with both hands, I'd make it work. Punch at my head, and I cover it. And I am worried that he's going to hit me with his other hand and other foot because there's nothing stopping him. So I have trained myself after this initial contact to move his hand over there to help me control his body a little bit. So this is super common in our kata and in many other styles. Sometimes it looks like this, where you got that little curvy thing. And in this case, it's going to look like this, 1, 2. If your hands are closed, your fists are open, 1, switch over to the other side, 2. Okay, now in the kata, you do this, right? You do this big, windy outside block. He's coming with me. So I go 1, 2, pull this down to your hip and turn. So he goes over there. Goes here, it's an arm bar. Hold this close to you and turn your torso. It's easy, really easy when you turn your body. Too many people have this elbow out and this arm out and they're trying to do the turn like this. There's no leverage. It's a bad position. Pull it in and then turn. 1, 2, which you're all doing great at. Grab this, pull it to your hip because it's your drawing arm. Put this on his elbow and turn and face the other way. You have to do your feet. When you put people in front of you, most people quit moving their feet and they stand there like this and can't figure out why it doesn't work. It's supposed to look like the kata does. 1, 2, everybody's doing great on this part. I really like it. Now this hand is going to pull to your side and he's coming with me so I can smash him. I don't want him to get away. This is just a hook, which I do a lot with drawing arms. I want to hook. Then you pull and put his head on the floor. Go 1, 2, 3, pull him in. 4, put your feet together. 5. And everybody falls in. But you have to do your footwork or it doesn't work. I just threw this guy down, the next attacker comes up and grabs me and they're going to punch me. And this is a block and a wind up because I'm going to smash him. He tried to hit me. So I'm going to outside block his elbow and twist him to the side. Then I'm going to hook it and hit across here so he can't go anywhere. And people get so excited about this part. I'm all twisted sideways and he's actually fine. I haven't done anything, okay? And then they try to get this arm in there and their body didn't move. So the idea is, when I turn, I stay straight, he's crooked. Then when I twist, I'm still straight, but he can't take the shot. There's no slack in here. It's where you start here and you go 1, and then you go 1, 2, And then on the other side, you go 1, 2. People have it in their minds that they're blocking and punching. That's what that is. But look, it's backwards. If I did it the way it is in the kata, you're going, I'm punching first, and then he punches, and I go 2, and I leave it there. And then I punch again, and he punches, and I go 2. So the pattern indicates that's a loosener, that's a finish. That's a loosener, that's a finish. Otherwise, you would do the sequence different too. It would be 1, 2, 1, 2, which is backwards. They don't do it that way. This hand coming out is because he threw a punch at me and I'm getting hit, right? So you got to cover it. I'm going to slide down his arm and hook so that he gets pulled forward like that at the same time as I hit him to loosen him up. Then I'm going to wind up and drop my body weight down. Then the other side is just practicing the other side. Throw the other hand. And it doesn't even have to be the other hand. It could have been the same hand. And you just got to drop it into there. We're going to add this part where you start with this hand stack. Gary here foolishly threw a punch at me, and I caught it, and I'm going to pull it down to the side, which we practiced doing before, right? So I just pull him a little bit off balance. Now hold on to him, and then this part stretches him out and across so that he's in a very weak position. You feel like you're in a weak position? And I'm going to drive my fist in, and I'm going to hook his arm with my drawing side, and then drop down and smash. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the first 2, you're going to go 1, block, strike. The other one could be the other hand, 2, block, strike, or it could have been the same hand, block, strike. It doesn't really matter. Okay, but practice one hand, then the other hand. Just do this one part of this, where you go 1, 2. Get real comfortable with that because it's a very handy thing to do. So after, confidently, I hit him, and then I go 1, block, 2, 3. You gotta move. So you go in, back. You need a fallback in case it didn't work. Can you see the pattern? Okay, so then this hand is here in space. I'm going to do this. 1. If he grabs and I grab, squeeze, we're equal. Really, if we're the same strength, we have no leverage. What's going to fix this is my thumb here. I'm going to push this like this. You know how they stress this over and over again? And only you do this. Another time you do this, and this one they want you to go like this. So I'm shortening this axis, if you want to say, from the finger to here. Squeeze. Now, by my own rules, this is not a great application because it takes a lot of precision. But you would do the same thing, throw the punch. You just go in and grab in and across here and pull. Striking across here would knock them out. This is a good control, and they both work right before the thrust. Remember, you shift forward and you do that little circle thing. I want to bend his elbow. I want to pull him in. So again, he's back to this nice S shape. He just happens to have a hold of my arm while I'm doing it. Then you pick your leg up and hit him, or pick your knee up and then hit him. Whatever happens to work. This series is very interesting to me. This whole 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a series that has been changed to make it much less effective for the general public. Because if you're teaching, say, 10, 12, 14-year-old kids, and you teach them something that could kill somebody, and you send them home and they got to show their brother or somebody, you know, so they changed it. And
I'll do it.
So what they say is somebody's grabbing for you and you reach up here and you knee them. That's a fine idea, nothing wrong with it. And then they say you come across here, and this is where I start to have a problem with it, because this is a bad strike. You might knock the wind out of them, but if this was supposed to be a sideways strike, you'd have your elbows out here driving in like some of these other kata do. That'd be a sideways strike. This is a forward strike. So after I hit here and hit here, hit on both floating ribs, which is technically your liver and spleen, and then drive into their heart. That's 3 major organ strikes after you nail them in the groin. So I hit him, and you very much mush. He's coming with me this way, just to get rid of him. Okay? Could also be, he threw a punch at me, I slapped him in the groin, because that's people's favorite thing to do. Then take out his front foot as you step backwards, like in the kata. Counter punching for the body. Standing like this because I blocked it. Hit, boom. Use your hip, use your shin on his thigh, drop your body weight down across his neck. I cover this, That's my primary. This is here, and I got to hang on to this. I'm going to step over it. Now my body weight here drops on his shoulder, but I got to hold here so that he goes down. This move right here and this move right here are so close to the same thing, they can do the same thing twice. So he throws the punch. You go one, that's your loosener. Drop your body weight down on here, and it'll penetrate with the punch. And I turn it, go 1, 2, right? You got this part? I'm going to go down here like this. 1, now hold his arm. 2, hold his arm. 3, hold his arm. Can you see how it is? I have to switch my hands because I got to hold him while I hit him with this one. I got to hold him while I hit him with this one. Now, if you step back just a little bit so that I can grab this arm and pull it. 1. I get a better position. Covering and hitting at the same time. This is a fantastic idea. There's nothing wrong with it. But it kind of doesn't account for this stack. Think about this. He might take this. He's very tough. Tougher than he looks, right? But if I pull his arm a little bit first, 1, 2, he's got that whiplash going. So that's the stack, and then you nail him. Okay? And then you're going to practice. You pull in, maybe hit him, come out again. Pull, hit him, go in again. I use these like clotheslines. He's throwing a punch at me. I turn, this is coming around, and smack it down, and then finish it. And I practice the other side. 1, 2. And people say silly things sometimes, like, well, why don't you just punch him? Because that's all we think there is. Yeah, it turns out, a common saying, is the skull is not fist friendly. It is harder than your fist. So if you punch somebody, you may damage them, but there's a good chance of damaging you, especially if you strike into the teeth, or if he ducks his head a little bit and you hit that, you break your hand. People do that on purpose sometimes. I don't recommend you try it, but I've heard it, seen it done. Your forearm is solid as a rock. His neck is soft. Doesn't take much to move him. And this isn't tap, this is whoa! Whoa! It's a full body, full twist. That's way cool. 1, 2, 3. So if you're over here, I'm gonna punch you. We go 1, 2, 3. You go 1, 2. Take his leg out. 3. Another guy. Block, strip.